guys, here we are again. Right, something a little bit different. You might remember a couple of weeks ago I mentioned about getting a new chair. My old chairs squeak, they do my head in. I know a lot of you said oil them, do this, do that. Trust me, they've had every oiling. They're just old, they get a lot of use, and just generally they wear down over time. And before I'd only spent, I don't know, 80 quid I think these were, and I got 3 and they were 50 quid each because you bought them in bulk, you got a discount. So I thought, right, okay, have a look around. Everyone's doing it. Everyone either seems to use the GT or the DX Racing chairs. Apparently the most comfortable, they're great for long time sitting, the support, and they don't squeak and all the bits and pieces. So I thought, right, okay, go on then, I'll jump on the bandwagon with everybody else. I'll give it a go, okay? Ordered it, no problem at all, said it was sent, right, sat back, waited. No, never turned up that day, all right, don't worry about it. Next day, still nothing. Contacted them, they said, oh, we sent you an email, unfortunately we're out of stock of that colour. So we said to you, would you like a replacement or a refund? I was like, well, I didn't get anything from you, so I'll take a refund, please. And that was it. And then I had to wait just over a week to get a refund out of them after numerous emails being sent and all the rest of it. Then lo and behold, this has literally just arrived. We're clearing out the studio, we're tidying up, and then the last thing actually I needed was this to come in. Now I have to say, this must be the heaviest thing in a box I've ever dealt with. This thing weighs an absolute ton. This is a DX Racing chair. I do want one, so it looks like I'm going to have to pay for it once we get it unpackaged and that. But this is the box. As you can see, it is a huge box. So what we're going to do, first of all, is if it's the wrong colour, it's going to have to go back anyway. But what I'm thinking is perhaps we'll lightly undo it, see exactly what it is. If it is the right one, then I'll have it, we'll put it together, give it a whirl, and if it's still good, I'll pay for it. So, anyway, first of all we need a knife. I know it says don't cut, but trust me, we're only going to go a tiny little depth. And we'll go down the cardboard side, and we'll just whip along here. And if I can get the neck cut, we can see just like this. I'll tell you what I could do. There we go. Right, okay, so in here, they actually told me, this is the weird thing about this, that they couldn't get any more of the stock in this colour. They were unavailable, so it's a bit weird. One, how I've got no paperwork, I've got nothing for this at all. And then, if I get this out, this is in the correct colours. This is the colour scheme, because obviously, as you know, we're going to go with the red and black and everything else like that. So that is the correct colours. So we will be keeping it. Okay, more packaging. Be another run to the tip. As you can see, extremely well packaged, all of this. Get a starfish. Alright. We've got the cushions, get a headrest, cushions, bits and pieces, just like that. We get a box. Oh, that's really heavy. And I think upwards. More packaging. The base. This thing weighs an absolute ton. You know, like those ones you can pick up and you can go and pull it. Clever. Okay. All right. So we got that. Let's put that down there. Right. Gotcha. And we have that. Right. Okay. What we're going to do? Clear this away. Get it unpacked, and we'll try and put it together. Right. Okay. There we go, guys. Seem to be pretty much all there. So to start with, we've got these plastic little feet guys, which we assume just clip underneath and clip in. Pretty straightforward on that. Hey, look, who needs instructions? Okay, anytime you need instructions is when it doesn't quite work. Then it's time to have a look. Nice bit of red trim. I have to say, all the individual component parts, they look to be very nice, very strong, extremely well made underneath here. You know, looks a lot more durable than perhaps some of the other ones I've got, which, let's face it, are plastic, okay? The other thing you notice, you don't get any nuts and bolts in here at all, but you do get an Allen key. That's because everything is already installed. All the nuts and bolts are actually on the actual items themselves, so that makes it quite easy to go together. So I'm thinking, what are we saying? Feet, must be feet on here. We're assuming just a bit. That's it. Metal on metal, that should last a little bit longer than the other ones where they come off. Okay, so there we go, there's our feet. We're assuming it's the usual thing of dropping that in there and then putting the stack of cards over the top. So that's pretty straightforward. That's that section done there. Alrighty, then we're gonna have a look under here. As you can see, we've got multiple bolts. Obviously you can adjust, it looks like the side part of the seat, which is quite good. It does come with an Allen key, so then we can just, hopefully, there we go. These bolts as well, like we're not talking little tiny bolts here, we're talking some serious stuff here. You know, these are proper bolts, okay? Unlike the other ones, which quite frankly are a bit cheap and nasty, okay? So. Okay, so that goes in like that. I assume. That's on, but what I don't like, hopefully you can see, is this gap down the back. Like, what's that about? Not too keen on that, and this one's got it as well. Being picky, I know, but I thought it would be in there very nice. Anyway, then you just manhandle this thing on top, and I'll be honest with you, it weighs an absolute ton. Okay, and that's it on there. It has got a little recline thing and the bits and pieces. So these go up and down, which is quite a nice touch. Okay, we've got these guys, which I do believe pull through. I assume these are going to go around the back. Test time. Okay. First of all, we have a reclining handle here. We lift and it tips back. Okay, these would come up. Could do with a bit of height. I don't know. It's, don't get me wrong, it's very comfy. I love this head supporter. It's actually really nice. That's beautiful for your neck. The armrests are really comfy. They've got nice depressions in there. It feels hard, but let's face it, it's a new chair. I expect it to. Okay, I love this reclining facility. So you've got this guy clear behind, and apparently Oh, actually, that is really nice. It's like being in the dentist without the drilling. Oh, actually, I'd say that is actually really, really nice. I'll tell you the other thing, it feels solid. Like, you know, let's face it, I'm not the lightest guy on the planet. And I weigh, I don't know, what, 103 kilos at the moment. And it's holding up with me, no problem at all. This lumbar thing, I thought would be a lot more comfy. A lot of you know I suffer pretty bad sciatica. So to be honest, that's why I bought this particular chair, because I've been speaking to a couple of guys who've got them and they've got back problems like sciatica and things. And they were like, yeah, absolutely, it's great for it. But yeah, I don't know. It seems very smooth. It feels, to be honest, like any other chair, but you just know that it's all embracing. It feels a lot better. You know, when we sit on the other chair, I'm taller than it. You know, so if we put on a little bit of a side-by-side comparison here, you know, we've got both of them. You know, the first thing, when I sit in this one, it's rock hard. It feels really hard. There isn't much give in it. There's no suspension in it. These armrests aren't exactly the most comfortable, and it's always pushing you slightly forward, which isn't a bad thing when you've got spinal things, I know. The lumbar support in this is pretty good, but yeah, it's not this. And as you can see, you probably see by the height of the handles, it drops when you sit in it. The big thing is, it's all-encompassing. It feels very secure. These are right height for me. These are dead on my shoulder height. It feels like a racing chair. When you're moving side to side, it holds you. It doesn't feel like it's pinching your ass, but I think if you've got a larger guy, you might find these are a little bit too narrow for you. So you might want to move up perhaps to the King. The King has a little bit wider, and these aren't as firm, shall we say. To be honest, this one had them as well, but if you look at the seat, if I show you on close cam, you can see how this is worn flat and it's all going in. And then obviously we've got this guy, okay, but also look at the difference in the height between the two. Okay, if you look at this shoulder position here, you can see it's down. Okay, this one's a lot higher, but look at the head difference. It's right up here. This is a good, I don't know, probably 20 centimeters, maybe a little bit more taller than the other. So the big difference is this one over here was 80 quid. You know, at the end of the day, I've had it now for, I suppose, about a year. Okay, they've served me very well. As you know, I have three. We've got another one over there, and we have another one over there. And what I tend to do is move them around because they don't last that long. Okay, so within a year, I've basically worn all three of them out, which I don't think is exactly brilliant value for money at 80 quid a pop, okay? Admittedly, I got them for 50 quid a pop because I got three for 150. I got a deal on it, to be honest, on eBay. But, you know, then you move over to something like this. This is technically 250 quid. So even though, you know, you could say, well, technically you could buy 4 chairs for the price of 1, but, and this is where the but comes in, just looking at it, the other one smells more of quality. It looks better. The wheels, the casters, the bits and pieces look absolutely fantastic. But you know me, I'm not likely to just run in here and start saying, yeah, everyone go and buy it, because I've learnt it a little bit too well now. I quite like the idea of trying it out for a while, seeing exactly how this thing feels and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the review right here. Okay, and what we're going to do is going to come back in a couple of months' time and do a sort of update to this. So I might not even air this, I might chuck it out tomorrow because, to be honest, we're really busy with various things tomorrow. But I'm thinking that maybe, you know, we're definitely going to do a better review on this next week, because although this chair here has served me extremely well, this one here is really, really nice. It's comfy, and I must admit, the more I'm sitting into it now, I think what's going to happen is that the fabric's going to slightly soften, the lumbar support will soften, the headrest, I absolutely love a headrest. It's like being on a plane, you know, where the bit where you pay that little bit extra, you get the headresty things that will bend around your head and that. This is very reminiscent of that. It's actually great. It feels very, very natural. I do like the way you can recline it back. To be honest, I'm just trying to find the clicks. Yeah, you've got very good increments. I don't know how far it actually goes. Jesus. Okay, so you can actually the best way to go with this. Lay flat, and it's got then the tilt actions working. I tell you, that is absolutely bliss. That actually is very nice to just sort of sit in here, lie down here like this. And if I had a TV screen there, it'd just be about perfect. But it's very reminiscent to a good quality dental chair. That's probably not the best angle of me, I know. But yeah, I think finding your spots is going to be the thing. Quite like that. That feels about right. The lumbar support slides up and down, so I think when I'm working at the bench I'll probably be a little bit like this. I think it will help me out because my posture is really nice. I've got my backside pushed right to the back, the lumbar support is in, and I can feel the tips of my shoulders on that headrest, which probably needs to go up just a little bit like that, and that feels very natural for working and everything else. So I must admit, okay, it's a lot of money, it's a stupid amount of money. Why would anybody pay 250 quid for a chair? Probably the people who pay 375 or 450 pounds for the King version of this. So, but again, we're very much like tools and equipment we speak about here at Flory Models. If it's something where you spend hours, and when we're talking hours, we're talking years of your life at the modelling bench, working on your particular, you know, your models, your various things like it, and it's your man cave, and perhaps you sit there and you watch some films as you're modelling and everything else. A good quality chair, again, is as important as good quality riveting tools, as good quality airbrush and everything else. It's part of the hobby that makes it feel better, okay, and it makes it more enjoyable. There's nothing worse, and I am as guilty as the next man, is that literally having poor quality chairs, equipment, things like that back in the day, and you get your bum goes numb and you ache and you have to walk around, everything else. And as I said, I did suffer from sciatica extremely badly until a couple of years ago, and a lot of that was me being better with my posture. And again, I think it's because I got better quality chairs, and I'm not just on horrible chairs. Literally, some of my old stuff is terrible. So there we go, that is the DXRACER. This is the Formula series in red and black, funnily enough. If somebody sent me this, thank you very much. But I don't know, it's come through to Flory Models, and when I was buying it, it wouldn't have gone to Flory Models. So I'm not actually sure where this chair's come from, but again, thank you very, very much. I'm going to give it a whirl. If it's really good on Monday, I'll contact the company I think have sent it, because there's no paperwork at all. There's not a single thing that's come with this chair. So it's a little bit of this. The other thing as well, I said about it, these go up and down, which a bit gimmicky, but me perhaps for flight simming and stuff like that. Actually, I haven't actually thought of this for flight simming. This would be really good for flight simming. Okay, and all the rest of it, I think, are really nice. The only thing they don't do is turn in or anything else like that. I know the more superior ones do, but the cup on them is very, very relaxing. It's got a nice cushioned, rubbery surface on these and everything else like that. So there we go. This is the DXRACER Formula Series chair.